Taylor, what's wrong, yo? Are you getting emotional about this?
Yes! Women are emotional about this. I told you that, especially black women. They are upset about this.
Mike, Chris.
Why haven't you spoken at all? You're
Chris,
Solomon.
Chris, grab the mic,
over there,
Chris.
Bro.
Come on, Chris.
You know why.
Come on, Chris.
Why.
We
Who
need
do
you,
you
Chris.
Gonna protect Taiwan from China? Not Kamala.
Not
Chris.
Trump.
Donnie T.
What do you want me to say? I mean,
Chris, let's be serious for a second.
Say you love Daddy
We
Trump.
want. do we not want the best for America?
of course, that's why I'm upset today.
Okay.
You didn't believe in Kamala, bro. Stop it.
It
I'm
ain't
not talking about Kamala.
Schulz.
Thank you, though. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, man.
Thank you.
No.
I'm glad you admitted
Kamala
that.
did the
I'm glad
best
y'all
she
finally
could
admitted
with
that.
what she had. Salute to Kamala. She was the
Trump
best option.
But
Is
stop acting like she's the star.
I'm not
on a
talking
shitty
about
team.
Kamala.
Like,
Don't do
I'm
that.
talking about Trump.
okay. Damn.
He's an existential threat to the country. He's a threat to democracy. We've had it too good for too long. We forget what's really at stake, how quickly we can lose a grip on this thing, and we're about to find out. And that's very scary to me.
But let's not wish for that. And
I certainly don't wish for that.
I'm not. I don't.
Hey,
want-
listen, everything you're talking about, I'm not that far from Trump on immigration. I'm not. All right. Let's see, I can't do this. Come on.
Chris, you can't be that triggered. Chris. All you do is
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
You're
Yes,
asking this
I'm
fucking
100%.
barista from Bushwick to answer questions on Brilliant Idiots, American podcast for Americans. Like, what the fuck is going on here? You got some Canadian lady sitting in a seat behind the camera asking him questions about America on Brilliant Idiots, American podcast for Americans.
No, man.
We are here as patriots trying to talk about why America's great. That's what we trying to do over
History.
here. You got a hairstylist from Hoboken talking about random ass shit.
Chris, talk.
On Brilliant Idiots, the American podcast for Americans.
History will judge me as the patriot today. I have no question about that.
I'm not mad at Chris. All I'm simply saying is I'm just trying to be optimistic. As I said earlier, I hope Donald Trump does nothing he said he's going to do.
No. You want him to make America...
I'm just talking about the wild shit. Like, you know how people will say things like, oh, that's just him riling people up.
You want a great economy, though.
People. Of course.
You want to stop the senseless wars.
Of course.
You want to stop the
But that's not going to stop.
anti-Semitism.
The senseless war, by the way, the senseless war is not going to stop.
Oh, he going to put a stop to that shit
Nah, he
immediately.
already said, told Netanyahu, Biden's holding you back.
Ooh.
He said, go get it done.
Ooh.
So, yeah, he said it. Did he not say that, Chris?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Good.
What does that mean? What does that mean, Chris?
What?
What,
I
go
don't
get
know.
it done?
What does that mean? He said he's...
Listen,
I mean, look, I think a lot of people who, look, my big takeaway from this election is congratulations to Mr. Putin. I believe that a lot of this was about misinformation. Get the shield.
not the election, though, Chris. They won the election fair and square.
Oh, I'm not questioning who voted for who.
Yeah,
I'm not saying the election.
Can you not fathom that the American people were tired of democratic rule and the democratic policies?
I don't question. I know for a
govern
fact they
their
were.
city?
Nah, they were.
I talked to my father today. Again, lifelong Republican, right? I said, what happened? The identity politics, it's happening too fast. This is his take. It's happening too fast. People don't want it at this speed. The trans issue is
They don't
very...
want to see. Yeah, they don't want to see
They don't want
dudes
you-
beating
he's-
up women for medals.
Right. He said, I got two old women in my building, older than him. He's in his 80s.
Yeah.
Their number one issue is the trans issue. Wow. I get it. It's a non-fucking issue. It doesn't affect anybody. It's just to deflect.
It affects an election.
Yo,
Well,
keep
but
on.
that's
my point. Like,
But this is what
it affects
this is
an election.
This is what coastal elites do. I did it when I was younger. Anything that doesn't affect us is a non-issue.
It doesn't affect
And we speak about it
anybody.
like that. And even the messaging now I'm seeing coming out of the left, they're like, it's all like white people and uneducated people that voted for Trump. It's like, yo,
You don't even listen. By the way,
Yo.
hey, I'm uneducated. I'm considered uneducated. I didn't go to college, but guess what? Even if you're uneducated, like I said earlier, you know if your grocery bill's too high.
thank you.
You know if you're evicted. To your point, Chris, I do think that the trans issue is really a non-issue, but it's effective in an election.
No, I get it. And
It's not a non-issue.
It's
not
effective
a
in an
non-
election.
It's so minuscule compared to the more serious issues facing this
That's
country.
because neither of your kids are trans.
No.
If one of
He's
your
talking about the
kids
actual commercial.
What are you saying?
Listen, the way you got so compassionate and empathetic just it's because none of your kids are trans.
Yeah.
No, he's talking about the commercial
What's
that
the
Trump ran
commercial?
over and over that had me and Envy in it.
Oh, yeah.
Where it said the thing about taxpayer dollars going to transgender inmates.
Yeah, we
and
don't want
shit
that.
like
We don't want that.
That's my point.
Yeah, listen.
Nobody was thinking about that.
Crime is a real issue.
We were thinking about
Immigra-
the sports. The trans and women's
Immigration
sports
is a real issue.
Yes.
The economy
trans
is a real.
and women's sports and the
Women's rights.
It doesn't
well, no, we got to get to
affect
that. One.
anybody. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know if trans and
It does
trans
affect.
and women's sports.
Explain to me how it affects.
Because-
it's not a table issue.
Psychologists, the trans and women's sports is a table issue. Like people talk about it.
We discuss
nonstop.
it, but it's not really impacting anything
No,
in
no.
any way, shape,
So-
or form.
so-
It makes you feel.
Yeah,
and
it-
so
It makes them look crazy.
Yes.
but
It makes you be able to say, look how ridiculous these motherfuckers
You're right.
are.
It's not a first issue. You're right. The first issue is economy. The first issue is like safety. The first issue and
Climate.
and no, climate's not even close.
Yes.
The first issue are those things, and then afterwards to justify how crazy they are, they're like, and they got
Yes.
women, they got men beating up women for gold medals.
Yes.
Right. So I think that is, but there are also issues, in a with children right now where I believe it was Megyn Kelly was talking about this, and she basically said that essentially what psychologists and school psychologists are supposed to do right now is when children have gender issues is affirm. So that is what is considered, I don't want to call it the rule, but there is a version for psychological care where like that is the protocol. So the protocol is to affirm. And the reality is that like when kids are going through different times, their emotions are a little tricky. Obviously, you're going through puberty and you have a lot of things going through your system. You're like, fuck, am I gay? Am I depressed? Am I sad? Do I have
Sure,
anxiety?
I'm not comfortable with the idea of a kid.
But
I'm not
just
experiencing it in my own family, but I'm experiencing it in a family I know.
For sure. So let me get it all out. So the idea is a kid goes into their guidance counselor and then they essentially go like, I think I'm trans, right? Because now that's an option and that's something that's heavily rewarded within schools. And now that person right there who is administering the care has to affirm that. They can't push back on that. They go, yes, you are. That's okay. It's normal to have these feelings. Now, I'm not saying you have to push back and say you definitely aren't. But maybe there's a little wiggle room where you could explore these feelings that you're having, right? Sure. And I think it's normal for parents to look at that, especially parents with kids that are vulnerable to these things.
I don't want nobody in school talking to my kids about that shit.
Well, that's the other thing.
If my kids are going through that, I want them to be coming to me with that conversation. I don't want them talking to nobody else. And if they do address that with somebody, I want the teacher to stop right there and be like, hey, I validate your feelings, but let's talk to your parents first. That's the day? Is that the day?
Yeah.
Oh, what's she saying? I grew up a middle-class woman.
Let me tell you something. I was at Howard University. Is this happening right now or this already happened?
it already happened.
Shout out to Kamala, man. Kamala did nothing wrong, yo.
Well,
She didn't, man. She's not perfect. She's not a perfect candidate. Nobody is.
Full of gratitude for the trust you have placed in me, full of love for our country, and full of resolve. The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright.
Gotta have it. Gotta have the light, bro. The light of America's promise.
As long as we never give up, and as long as we keep fighting.
oh, she's trying to January 6th it, bro.
No.
She
Y'all,
January
time out.
6th, bro.
You have
I
no.
I see
You're
you.
missing the point.
But we gonna be
man.
there, though. We gonna
You
be
have
there.
to fight
We gonna be
to
there.
make sure that these politicians do what they say they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Whoever you elected,
Yeah.
yesterday, whatever the day was, you have to fight to make sure that they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
You know what I was shocked about this election though, and Taylor brought it up before, that I thought that the Roe v. Wade was going to play a much bigger
I did
role.
too.
Because as a
I
woman,
did too. I'm gonna stop giving a fuck about shit y'all don't give a fuck about.
Right though? Like we out
For
here
real,
giving a fuck about you and your body.
I can't believe it.
And y'all
it
don't.
doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make sense to me because
What doesn't make sense
it's
to you?
literally her being a woman, regardless. Like is something to see as a woman myself and a black woman self, like going up against, being a president and everything. So now
I know
seeing
what
it
you're trying
again,
to say. I
taking
know what you're trying to say because I've heard a bunch of people say that in the last 24 hours. What Taylor is saying is when you watch a qualified black woman like this lose to the executive producer of Celebrity Apprentice, and this is the second time we've seen this happen because we saw a super qualified woman like Hillary Clinton do it, and now you see it happen to Kamala. That shit makes you feel away. Right, Taylor?
Nah, that's not what she meant.
What does she mean?
She didn't mean that. She
That's exactly what she
didn't
meant.
mean that. She
Yes,
just wanted.
she did.
Taylor, what did you want to see right there? You wanted to see. Aw.
That's exactly what she
I don't
was
think
trying
that's
to
what
say.
she meant.
Yes, it is.
Taylor, what's wrong, yo? Are you getting emotional about that?
Yes, women are emotional about this. I told you that, especially black women. They are upset about this.
Damn, bruh. Let's put you. Is there a song we want to play?
Shut up, man. By all means, go to the freaky ref, Taylor. Go to the freaky ref.
What's the freaky ref?
Oh, wait till you see this shit. You ain't see this shit yet?
No.
Oh my God.
Hold on. I think we need to acknowledge that Taylor's feeling something right now, and I think that we should be there for her. I want to be there for you. Oh, now I feel bad.
What?
I feel bad because Alex is such a dickhead. He made Taylor cry.
What?
Why'd you make Taylor
Women,
cry?
listen, all jokes aside, all jokes aside, women are very tender about this because you got to think, Donald Trump literally did everything possible to lose this election. Like, Huffington Post had the best headline. Huffington Post said, he ran the most racist campaign in modern day history and smoked it. Didn't just win, smoked it.
Stop it. How is it racist?
Oh, cut it out.
What?
Smoked it.
How is it racist? Nobody falling for that shit no more.
How is it not racist?
Haitians eating cats and dogs
What are you talking
ain't
about?
racist to you?
There's white Haitians.
Man, shut up, man.
Well, why do you guys why do you immediately assume black and Haitians?
So
Yeah, that's racist to y'all.
Here's the thing. You don't even have to do this anymore.
What you mean?
He won. I mean, and smoked shit. Okay? He won. All right? Now, here's the thing though, and I want y'all to remember this.
Me too.
It's up to him to maintain that energy because we know how fickle Americans are. Get in that White House and don't do none of the shit you said you're going to do. Upset. They're going to flip on him.
He's not gonna care. He's in there already. He don't gotta run again. He's not gonna give a fuck.
We are going to make America have another golden age.
Well,
I think
And
this,
I hope you guys all enjoy the prosperity
Why
of it.
would we-
Let's enjoy it together.
I hope that's the case, but I think he's gonna use his 4 years to get as rich as he motherfucking can and to drop all charges against him. And he wants to.
he said he said within 6 minutes.
No, I know.
He's firing Jack
Yeah.
Smith. And then somebody on CNN was like, well, and I know technically he can't do it because he's the president. His attorney general got to do it. But guess what? His attorney general is going to do
Yeah.
it. There's no charges. Stop talking about charges. The charges are done.
Yeah.
Charges are done.
It's a wrap.
That's
Cut it
fine.
out.
But he's
Cut
just
it
gonna
out.
try to get as rich as he can in his next 4 years,
I was
and that's
not
it.
wrong.
That's it. That's all he's gonna do. He don't
Chris.
give a fuck.
No, listen.
He showed that during the first 4. He ain't do hardly anything he said he was gonna do during the first 4.
MO his entire career.
Can we just have some positivity?
I hope what you're saying is true. I really
Why
do.
would you want to
I do
believe
want positivity.
this?
No,
Yeah.
I do. I'm not. I want the realism.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, listen, I've lived through 8 years of Ronald Reagan, 2 Bush, terms, another Bush term. I can handle Republicans.
Yeah.
I voted Republican. It's not the end of the world. It's not what I agree with, but I can handle it. This is different. This is different.
This is crazy.
I hope.
I certainly do too.
I'm not saying you're
I'd love
wrong.
to be wrong.
I want to be wrong. I
Yes.
want all of us to be wrong.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
There's nothing.
Be right.
This
You want me to
guy's
be right.
78 years old. There's nothing in his history that suggests he's going to do the right thing. Everything, all the evidence
I agree with
suggests he's going to ruin the fucking country.
And then what about all the other people that were also elected as a referendum on liberal politics?
What do you mean?
Like, what about the DAs that were flipped? What about the senators? That
I
I
were
mean, some of them might do a good job. I don't know.
I think
my point is, you could tell that the American people want something. It's not just a Trump
Yeah, sure.
effect. Yeah. So we hope that those people get what they want, right? We hope
I
that
think
those
that
new
when-
politicians can deliver.
I think Schulz, when you see it at the top, when you see it at the top and you're not happy with what's at the top, what is at the top, everybody that is going to get punished for it.
Yeah.
It's just really that simple.
Yeah.
You know, and I really think that people got real basic issues, and I say it all the time. People want to know how much money they can have in their pocket, and people want to be safe. If they don't feel like they're getting that much money in their pocket and they don't feel like they're safe, it's going to be a backlash. I think that's what we saw. Now, and I don't think it's one thing. I think it's all those things you saying. I think it's the things that I'm saying. I think it's good old-fashioned racism and sexism and bigotry. I think it's all that wrapped up into one. And guess what? That's what you need to do when you run in a campaign. You don't run a campaign on one thing. You know what I'm saying? You run a campaign on a multitude of things, and you connect with people, and that's how you win elections.
I just hope that for the sake of Democrats, because I'm a lifelong Democrat, right? I am a registered Democrat. Okay?
I'm nothing.
That's fair.
Impossible.
I'm not
No, he's
anything.
independent.
Well, I mean, that's
Yeah, I guess I hear what you're saying. But like, I hope that Democrats don't chalk this up to racism, bigotry, misogyny, because if they do,
They're not going to do no real soul searching.
exactly. So what I hope is Democrats look at what happened and don't go, oh, it's just uneducated people. Oh, it's just white guys.
I agree.
I hope what they do is some reflection and they go, where did we miss the American people? Where were we not answering them? Where did we lose our way? And then maybe, just maybe, the Democratic Party will come back to that beautiful, glorious Democratic Party we had when we were younger that we were all proud of.
But I think Republicans need to come back to center too.
Listen, I'm not saying they don't, but the only thing that can bring them back to the center is that the Democrats are there. If there's a Democratic option that meets our values, then the Republicans have to. But right now, the Republicans are speaking to the things that Americans care about.
I agree with you. And I think Kamala is a moderate, but I think that, you know, the problem is years and years and years of Democrats letting folks down and too much far left from Democrats over the last 7-8 years.
Yeah, it's too
so by
much.
the time
Too much.
Kamala comes around, because Biden's a moderate.
Yeah.
Like Biden's a moderate. So by the time they both come around, they're not even looked at as moderates no more. Because
Yeah.
the whole party is looked at as far left.
You got to just move away from the AOCs. You got to move away from the fucking, what are the other ones that are just loud and annoying? You got to go to
You got to move away from Caitlyn Jenner.
yeah, you got to go to the Buttigieg's. You got to go to
Yes.
these like smart, principled Democrats.
Normal gay guys.
Normal gays.
Yes.
I am supportive of normal gays.
How much more center and normal could you get than Joe Biden?
I don't think Joe Biden was
He's too old, Chris.
Yeah, I mean he can't.
So
do
He wasn't
anything.
inspiring. We know this. We noticed he had everything. When it came to being a politician, he was a damn good politician.
He also did win.
He won.
Yeah, like he.
why do you guys think that playbook's gonna work? Like Trump has shown us, the further away from
No,
being
only he can get away with that. No.
He lost to
Yeah,
Joe Biden.
that was I think that was only because 2020, the divide of the country. Like we had COVID, we had all the rioting. People were just tired of that, and they were like, "Yo, we don't want any more of that." So we vote in anybody else.
Listen.
They could have ran a donkey, and that donkey would have run over Trump.
Listen.
But I think right now, the American people have shown we're tired of how politicians talk. We like this radical guy who just talks like one of us, and now every single politician that comes after is going to model themselves like Trump.
Listen, and they're gonna lose. 'Cause
Okay,
here's the
yeah,
thing.
not doing the reflecting thing. This is where the mistakes are made.
If Barack Obama is Michael Jordan, then Donald Trump is Dennis Rodman, and there's only one of both of them.
Yeah.
You know what
But
I'm saying?
Obama's not Jordan anymore.
Oh no, Obama's always Jordan.
No, I mean, part of the reckoning is the Dems have to understand he went hard at the end.
Yeah, but Obama
Didn't-
was Jordan in his time, Chris.
Yeah,
In
he's
his
Jordan of
time.
the Wizards now.
Yeah, he was
But as the elder statesman, when he comes forward and says this is the priority,
because he did what Schulz is saying, and I guess what I'm saying too.
and it didn't resonate with people.
Because he went out there waving his finger at people instead of talking to people. Like, what's on your mind,
Bro,
brother? What's the problem, brother?
he was-
Why aren't you supporting us, brother? Like, what are your issues?
He was running the Trump's a bad guy campaign. That doesn't work. He's bringing up things that are known hoaxes. Those aren't necessary. That's not going to win an election. The American people are smarter than that, and they've looked past that. They understand the media spins narratives that are fake, okay? It happens all the fucking time with presidents. Shit, it happens with us. So they don't trust these media narratives, and he's up there, he's spouting them. Now, is he incredibly engaging? Is he a superstar? Yes. But what he has to do is sell them the dream, sell them hope, sell them change, and he wasn't doing that. And that's what the Americans reacted to. It's simple as that. It's star power with no substance. We need hope. We need change. I mean, I remember Obama.
Yeah.
Hope is the audacity of hope. What a great title for a book.
Yeah.
Make us believe. Kamala didn't inspire. I wasn't excited for Kamala's America. Like, there's nothing exciting about it. I was like, oh my God, this America is going to be amazing. When I think of like Trump and Elon in America, the pipe dream is like, oh my God, are they going to organize everything? Is Elon going to get involved with government, make it more efficient?
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, it might be a nightmare, but the idea in someone's head of it going great, the idea of it being executed makes me very excited. The idea of America being the tech capital of the world and us starting a colony on Mars and us being at the forefront of invention, creativity. To me, I see that with Elon and Trump. I don't see that with Kamala.
Yeah, people are optimistic about possible change or just settling for
status quo.
So you think Kamala spent too much time going at Trump as opposed to saying what it is she wants to do?
We're over anything bad you say about Trump. We're over. We've heard it for years, and he's still around.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Still has to be said.
Huh?
Still has to be said, though.
I mean, you can say it all you want, but if it doesn't work, you're wasting your breath.
Exactly, Chris. Remember, and that's what I mean by the trans commercial. The trans commercial was effective. So it may not mean anything in the bigger scheme of life, right? But it's effective in a campaign. You got to find the things that are effective in a campaign.
Well, then there was a more effective way to say it that they didn't land on. I concede. Obviously, it didn't resonate. I can't tell you it resonated because of what happened.
This is another way I feel. There just hasn't been an issue that stuck to Trump. There hasn't been a thing. There hasn't been one thing out of all the wild shit he said, all the things he's done that has stuck to him. What? Not one thing. You can't even. There's a multitude of things of wild shit he said.
I think January 6th stuck with a lot of people. Not enough.
I don't think it did. Sadly, it didn't for whatever reason.
Nope. I think that's the biggest thing that hurt him. If it wasn't for January 6th, Trump would have won by a bigger landslide than he did right now.
Man, what did y'all see that I didn't see?
No. It would have been a bigger landslide. I'm telling you, it would have been a bigger landslide.
Well, that would have been 20. I don't know.
That is the main issue. Is like, yo, he's a threat to democracy.
Hey, I don't think that shit hurt him at all.
Nah,
now, I did see in the last couple of weeks, threat to democracy was actually like the number one and number two issue behind the economy. I don't think that shit had no effect on him at all. Listen, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I've never seen anything like Donald Trump in my life. The man has a different level of privilege. We've seen white powerful men get punished. Mm-hmm. We've seen white powerful men have to deal with the consequences of their actions. Nothing sticks to his shit. Ain't Teflon. What's some shit that just don't stick to you at all? Cum? Cum sticky.
Cum on a gold tooth.
I'm going to the